Welcome back. We are looking at lesson 98 and we're going to be talking about geometric solids. So we'll be looking at a little geometry here, looking at different shapes and solids, talking about those objects. So you've done your warm-up. Let's move right down here to the new concept. Shapes such as triangles, rectangles, circles, we've talked about those before. Those are all flat objects, meaning that you can draw them on a flat piece of paper, as I have done right there. Now, they cover a particular area, meaning they cover a particular space on that page, and we can fill in these objects with square tiles. Those square tiles may be 1 inch by 1 inch, or 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter, or maybe if they're huge, maybe they're 1 mile by 1 mile. Or we can fill up these objects with square tiles, and then we can figure out how many fill up that particular area, that shape. So if you remember, for a circle, the area of a circle is pi times r squared, where r is the radius. I hope we've talked about these. And the area for a rectangle is the length, which is usually the longer side times the width, length times width. For a triangle, it is the length of the base, and then if you go straight up and down, perpendicular to that base, to the other vertex there, that is the height. So base times height, but that would be actually twice what you need. If you did base times height, that's kind of like doing width times length. So you actually do half of that. So base times height is the area for a triangle. 1/2 base times height. Now, all of those are flat objects. That's what we're saying. They take up space. Or they do not take up space, sorry. They take up area. So now if we have something that's three-dimensional, and sometimes they're hard to draw, but there are a bunch that are drawn down here for you, those take up space, and we need to talk about volume. Those are geometric solids that are taking up space. So they are called geometric solids, and here's a chart down here showing some of the more familiar ones, more common ones. A cube, all of the sides of a cube are equal in length, so it has 6 equal faces. A rectangle, a rectangular solid I should say, is a rectangle on 4 of the faces, and it may be a rectangle in the front and the back, or it may be square, but that is called a rectangular solid, or also called a rectangular prism. Notice it's got rectangles as for many of its faces. Okay? A pyramid is going to have a base, and by the way, that base might be a square, that might be a triangle, that might be a rectangle, but then off of the different sides of the base, you have triangles that all come up to the same point. A cylinder, the base of a cylinder is a circle, and there's also the same circle at the opposite end. And then you have this side that wraps around the entire lateral portion of the cylinder. A sphere is a ball, and then a cone, its base is circular, and then it comes up to a point. So these are the most popular, familiar, well-used, most used geometric solids, and we're going to be talking about those in future lessons. In this lesson, all we're doing is identifying them. So this one is a sphere, that's a cube, and there's your cone. Okay? A soup can would be a cylinder. And this one here, this rectangular solid, is made up of many cubes. This time, remember we talked about these flat surfaces, these areas can be filled up with flat tiles. Now we're going to be filling up our geometric solids with cubes and find out how many cubes fill that space. So in this case, how many cubes are filling this up? Well, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you have the same in the back row. So you have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so it's a total of 12. Okay? So they counted 6 on top, 6 on the bottom, 2 layers, so it's a total of 12. Some terms here on your different geometric solids. This is, as I've already mentioned in our conversation here, this is called the face. That's the flat portion, and there are 6 flat portions around this geometric solid. Edge is where 2 faces come together, and a vertex would be a single point where 3 edges meet. Okay? The plural of vertex is vertices. Find a closed rectangular box in the classroom, maybe a tissue box or something like that, and answer these questions. So, how many faces does it have? Well, if it's a box like this, it has a front. And by the way, let's just kind of group these together because the front and the back are going to be identical. So front and back. It has a top and a bottom. And then it has right and left. So there are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The front and back are going to be identical in a rectangular solid. The top and the bottom are going to be identical, and the right and left are going to be identical as far as shape. So you have six different faces for the box. How many vertices? Where do the edges meet? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 down here as well, and 1 is hidden in the back here. If I put in the dashed lines, that means edges that can't be seen. So there are 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 vertices. How many edges? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then there are 4 that connect the top and the bottom. So that's a total of 12. Okay? All right. That's all about geometric solids. Just an introduction, names, shapes, a little introduction about what they're made up of, the faces, the edges, the vertices, etc. Okay? You can go on and do your practice set here and keep up the good work. Don't hesitate to ask for any help if you need it.